To kick off this weekend, I just want to show love to a few pairs you may not see across your timeline a whole lot, possibly not on YouTube either, or maybe just here and there. And they caught my eye. Doesn't mean that they will appeal to you the same, and that's quite all right. Everyone's taste will be different and subjective. And one thing I do appreciate about these, they're under $165 each. And if you should make the decision for yourself, not based on me, to buy a pair, yes, you can go buy them for retail right now. So that's a really nice thing in 2025. So without further ado, the Adidas Adizero Goukana. Now, the name itself in Japanese translates to luxurious and plush, and when you look at the midsole of the sneaker, does it not scream plush? Like, this thing has so much cushioning in it. Not that Adidas isn't known for providing really comfortable pairs. I think that's something we can all attest to, right? I mean, we know the Ultra Boost craze, and they've moved into that also, just in their, like, you know, larger pairs, I would say, that aren't necessarily like a Samba. This is actually considered like the anti-Samba, because that is as slim profile as you can get, and the Goukana is like everything opposite of that, which I appreciate. So if you're into dad shoes, then this is like dad shoe quite possibly to the max, and that debut color is loud. It is very, very loud. Now, this is still pulling from inspiration from their archives, because remember, Adidas, long-standing brand, they can pull from their archives just the same as so many other brands that we know, love, and appreciate in sneakers. So I also love that it is just so LA focused. Like, it is a lifestyle pair that is very much centered around Los Angeles. You can see the little hits that actually play to Los Angeles, even on the like actual laces on the aglets themselves. Like, those two actually say Los Angeles on them. And so this was debuted, I believe, Los Angeles Fashion Week last year. And so they are available right now on Undefeated. I think Undefeated saw like an earlier release at just their stores, I believe like in May. And then I know this shoe will probably be distributed elsewhere. But nonetheless, it is available right now for $160. So for something that looks that cushioned, and it is loud, let me just say that, it is loud. If the yellow isn't for you, they have two additional colorways, I believe. Like, they're going to have an all red and then predominantly all navy blue. But if it's something that you were looking to be and that's very comfortable, also I think it does kind of have that, I don't want to say like not necessarily futuristic, but it is very fashion forward, at least I think. So dive into it if you would like. Once again, go ahead, embrace those baggier pants. We're in the baggier silhouettes. Some people don't like that. They would like us to circle back around to the slimmer silhouettes in terms of pants. Baggier and looser fit is just comfortable, okay? I just have to say that. It's certainly comfortable, and it's a little bit more airy, okay, with the fact that we are fully into summer. This is like our first real summer weekend, and it's hot. I got out by the pool one day this week. Let's see if I can get out a little bit more just to, you know, decompress, read, take naps. I'm all for that. But go ahead and comment your thoughts below on the Adizero Goukana. And then for this second one, I will say this, in a lot of videos in which creators are running down like their most comfortable pairs, Brooks has a lot of the passionate and loyal individuals that will hop in the comments, and they'll be like, you didn't bring up this pair, you didn't bring up that pair. And we'll go ahead and maybe touch on another silhouette for Brooks in the future, because I've had a chance to try some of them on, and I get the hype. I really do. In terms of running and just the comfortability, I get the hype. So let's just go ahead and highlight the Brooks Cascadia 1, because this is another long-standing, I think of as like a legacy brand. And is it one that I would be like late to the party to, similar as I was to New Balance? Yes, but I think a lot of people will be introduced to things at some point along the way. It's not always all going to be like at the same rate, the exact same time. It just doesn't happen that way. New Balance individuals, you guys have always been, right, loving them and appreciating them in the DMV area. I say that all the time. I think with Brooks, a little bit different. If you're West Coast, that may really be for you. And if you're a runner, then hey, you understand that it really is something that you should, you know, possibly look into, aside from the traditional other brands. Like, I think a lot of runners have actually moved away from Nike as much, and they have just ventured off into other pairs. So the Cascadia 1, though, yes, it is certainly functional and meant for trail running. And it was made in collaboration and designed by Scott Jurek. So when you think like ultra marathoner, something I would never ever do. Okay, let's be clear there. Ultra marathoner. This was an early pair, like think back early 2000s, and so they've given this a retro, and they have two different colorways, one in yellow, and that was truly like taking it back to the OG. They did tweak a few things, and I will say this for diehards and those that are just true loyalists to the brands. A lot of times they'll say like, oh, people get really nitpicky about retros. No, people get really nitpicky about all brands if they retro a shoe and it's not a one-to-one, because if you look at the Cascadia 1 in the yellow colorway, they don't have the red hits on there. They swap those out, and no, I know that is a point of contention for some people. So that's just to say, sneakerheads are just, we want what we want. exactly how we've envisioned it, okay? Even for back in the day. And if they don't get that, then, they may not be the happiest. But I will say, this pair, I saw it come across my timeline, absolutely caught my eye in the yellow. And then they have Moonbeam. So I know yellow is the one that so many people gravitate towards, but I think Moonbeam is great. I like the fact that they have something that is functional because it's meant for trail running, but they want to intentionally transition this over into lifestyle. And we've seen that said with a few pairs, right? When I did the video on the Adizero, the Evo SL, when you look at that pair, Adidas wants you to wear that in a fashionable way for lifestyle purposes too. So nothing is any different in terms of Brooks with the Cascadia 1. They want you to do the same. And I will say this, I have a little surprise package that arrived, so I wonder if you guys can guess what may be in here, because I'll certainly have a video soon on this pair. And you know what? I know I didn't do any fits or anything for the Evo SL. Thankfully, I feel a little bit more rested, so I will do that for what's inside here. So go ahead and guess below in the comment section, because it is based on a pair that I mentioned here, just in terms of giving flowers to it. So I'm always grateful and appreciative for just amazing gifts that may arrive at my doorstep. Does that mean that I will continue to try to get rid of pairs? Absolutely, positively. You guys know that's still the wave I'm on. And thankfully, my best friend just hit me up, and she said she is preparing for like a back to school clothing and, sneaker drive to be able to provide for kids ahead of the school year. So that is music to my ears, because it means I can continue to clean all of this out with purpose and intention, and I know that it will go to amazing places, aka kids preparing for that next year of education. So my friend Heather, let me just give you your flowers right now. So real fast, whenever you are someone, you're creative, and you see like a gap in the market for a service or a product that isn't being provided, be confident in yourself to just provide it. That's exactly what she did with a wNBA tie. So she's titled it the W Tie Movement. And yeah, she's in talks for just, official things. Okay, that's all I'll say. She's in talks with all the right people. So the W tie, I was one of the very first people she gifted this to. So I just want to say again, congratulations, Heather. This is amazing. You guys know I love the wNBA. Okay, this season has been a whole lot. Not just as a fan, but like as an Aces fan. Okay, we're going through it right now. We really are, but that doesn't mean I'm not enjoying any of the all matchups, every matchup you can think of. It doesn't matter from team to team. Like, so many great things are happening, even for the ones where they're still trying to really find their way and their footing. Like, I'm enjoying it. I really am. So from the rookies to the sophomores that we're seeing, it's just Gabby Williams, okay, in Seattle. So really having myself a time. So you guys are able to see the tie worn 3 different ways. I had so much fun styling this tie. I'm a big fan of menswear. I've said that before. When you grow up admiring Maya, and if you guys remember, okay, Love Like Whoa video, she was mensweared out, okay, but it was done in such an amazing way. So love being able to incorporate a tie into different things. One of those looks certainly inspired by Asia, and then I had on the jersey, and then the custom denim jacket that I made inspired by someone else. So again, I think we're all certainly inspiring each other day by day. We never know, but take the time to, really just try different things. I cut my shirt down the middle, and I've seen other women now do the same and tag me in it on social media. So if you've cut your shirt and you really like the way that it turned out, okay, then that is now a go-to style for you this summer. Go ahead and comment down below. If you didn't check out that video, please be sure to also comment below which pair do you think is in this box here, because I can't wait to go ahead and do a video on that. Please stay tuned for more. Have an amazing, safe weekend. Good luck on any pairs dropping. As always, act your age, not your shoe size. Peace.